Hi everyone, it's Sonia McDonald here, and thank you for joining Leadership with Sonia today as I talk to incredible leaders and humans across the world, all about leadership and courage and kindness and whatever topics that come up, because sometimes these conversations take the most amazing and beautiful directions. And today I am with the extraordinary Rebecca Taylor, who also happens to be the most incredible photographer. If you check out my LinkedIn or any of my social media, most of those photos were taken by Rebecca. Welcome, Rebecca.
Hello. So happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. Tell me all about your story. How did you get to where you are today?
Well, I have been always in that creative, following my creative passions. It's definitely my happy place, and it's my zone of genius in that way. I just always have been immersed in, anything from performing, writing, directing was my background. And then I also moved into communication design. So I did a master's in communication design, came out of that working for design studios. And then during a downturn that happened at GFC, I found myself really going back to what my really core, deeper passions were. And photography had always been a through line throughout all my work. And I ended up managing a photographic studio in Melbourne. It was just starting up. But what drew me to actually start my business in portrait photography was actually just seeing the transformations that were happening in that studio. And people were coming in one way, so women particularly, that was sort of where I was really clued into and looking at, was actually seeing the women going in, feeling self-conscious about themselves, about their bodies, about just really about where their potential lies, and then coming out and actually just feeling so lit up and empowered. And that to me was just the moment that it sealed the deal. And it gives me little shivers every time I think about it. Because of seeing women actually crying and things like that, and just seeing the real change. And not even particularly me taking the photographs, these were like other photographers too. So it was just seeing that, and that was the light bulb moment that I just knew photography and working. I work, photograph men as well, but predominantly I'm very passionate about helping women to feel seen and to really step into their power that way as well. So I feel like photography is a really great tool for that.
Well, I loved the experience. You made me feel very safe during the whole process, because I think, during the time we spent together, feeling a bit, oh my gosh, I'm getting older, and and I don't know why we're so tough on ourselves as we get older, because it's such an honor to age and to get older and to embrace like the different, phases in our lives.
Yeah, I know. I just, I've got some grey hairs coming through, and it's that next thing. I was chatting with friends just yesterday. We were out at a family get together, and yeah, we're all talking about that process. And actually, it's funny because we think actually don't talk openly enough about it, about the changes that are happening, and actually maybe seeing that. That there are other options. It doesn't have to be about disguising that. It can just be about learning to really embrace it and harness it and see it as just a really an empowering thing. So yeah, even from myself, I'm thinking, am I going to dye my hair? Like my hair, I've always been the redhead, so that's this whole change of identity, isn't it? But I think what you're saying is so true. It's just, it's a privilege to be aging.
It is a privilege, and I think we're talking about it a lot more these days, which is great. I see. Actually, I put up a few months ago, which I got a lot of comments about around menopause and leadership, and a lot of people were like, "Wow, that was really brave and a lot of vulnerability there to sort of say, hey, I'm going through this process, and how's this impacting me?" And so it was really good to talk about. It was really good to get the feedback around. And so being part of your part of your journey around when you and I worked together taking my photos, and it was only a few years ago. it was really special. Like, it made me feel really beautiful, and that it is wonderful to age and go through this process. And your photos, when I saw the results, were incredible. So you should be really proud of the work that you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really enjoyed our photo shoot experience. And what I love about you too is that you're so real and raw. And I felt like that got me excited. So I think the energies that we both played off each other within the photo shoot too. And, and I think it is just releasing a lot of those stories we tell ourselves, as well. So going through the photo shoot experience, I really try and help people get over the overthinking and overanalyzing and seeing those aspects of themselves as flaws, or and just actually learn to really harness our strengths, but actually just own who we are. And I think that that's what the photo shoot process, but also seeing visually something amazing in itself can just be so empowering to kind of be reminded of that. I see your photographs too, and I think, oh, I love that experience, and it reminds me of that. So it's great that you're able to just go up in that sense as well, when you're visible with with photographs that you love. I think it does inspire you to get more visible as well. So not that you need much more inspiration, because I know how amazing you are with what you do and how you show up. But I think for many women it does help to them to overcome a lot of the fears around showing up, because they actually do have something tangible that they're showing in the photographs that they're proud of. So I think that does help.
About showing up. It is about showing up, and I think that we need more women to show up. And we need to be putting ourselves out there and celebrating that. And that's something I think you're brilliant at. You're so great at lifting everyone up around you. And that's leadership. And I know that you're really passionate about this word leadership. So what does leadership mean to you? Why? Because I know you just love leadership. Tell me about your frame of reference and why leadership is important to you.
Yeah. And, it potentially I do have a different frame of reference in terms of I don't work in a large organization, but I do see that leadership in a personal branding sense, is so, so powerful. And I really feel like the people who are out there with a full belief about what they're saying, about what they stand for, about who they are, that's what is cutting through the noise. And they're the leaders who we all want to be, following and joining their communities and signing up to their programs. And they're the leaders who are cutting through that online noise, the ones who are really very clear about what they stand for, about what they believe in. And, to me, that signifies a great leader, someone who is so invested in their beliefs, what they stand for and what they believe, that people just can't help but gravitate towards them. People can't help but just want to hop on the train with them and, join the ride. So branding too, I think like leadership is about, really owning your space and being clear with your message and being consistent with your message, so that people they understand what you deliver and what you offer. So I think great leaders are really good at that too. So in that personal branding space and, owning that. Yeah. So definitely leadership is something that, I've developed programs and workshops around this. I feel that that's a gap, is that where women, particularly women I'm interested in, is where they feel like they're really stuck in knowing what that purpose is, or at least being clear on it to the point where they just are so excited to share it. They're so excited to share content and be doing what they're doing, like you, Sonia, because you're so clear on your purpose and your intention. And so it makes showing up a lot easier.
It is about that clarity. And sometimes I think, and this is why having incredible people like yourself in a tribe or in your network helps you with, sometimes we need that clarity. Sometimes we need that support and that help. And I know, like, you're putting together a bit of an ebook around this as well, aren't you? Around all these incredible people.
Amazing. Yeah, and someone amazing is going to be on the cover, Sonia. So in this next one coming up, I could not help but your photos and just you and your message. And I was just like, Sonia's going on the cover of this. But it is about redefining leadership. I think, for many women, it is about, changing what the maybe the hidden sort of beliefs are that we have around who we think actually a leader is, or what it takes to be a great leader, in the sense that there's that really masculine sort of style that tends to dominate the business world a lot. And so it's that real kind of, the hustle and the strategy and all those pieces, which is so important, definitely, to have that drive and motivation and do it with systems and have all that in place. But I think that feminine sort of way of working, where it is about collaboration and creativity and using intuition and building a community, all those sort of probably more softer skills, let's say, are when they're joined together with the masculine, women can then start to sort of see as well that there is really value in the way that they lead, in their style. And then I think that changes the narrative for leadership. And in that sense, I'm hoping that through this Redefining Leadership e-mag, hearing the stories and perspectives of leaders like yourself around what it takes to be a great leader, having kindness and courage, will actually reframe it for many women, and they'll start to then maybe see actually they are a leader, or they could be, step more visibly into those leadership roles. I think it can just change the narrative around what leadership is. That's what you're doing too. So I had a client to the studio, and that's where it all started. She was running a real estate empire and just building this great business, and was having a team and changing the landscape of real estate. And I had all these great words about her to describe her before our photo shoot, and she was like, yep, I'm that, yep, but leader. And she stopped at leader, and went, no, I'm not a leader. And that's what started it. I was like, oh, really? God, if you're not a leader, who is? Like that? Yeah, you're a leader, right? And it just got me really questioning it and thinking, why are so many women saying that that's not, they don't want to identify with that, or they don't believe they do, or they believe they could, or it's not their place to, or maybe just scared because they're sort of used to seeing a more dominant male, masculine way of showing up and leading, that they don't want to be that, so they'll deny themselves of taking up those leadership positions. And it's a whole other big topic I know I've dived into, but but
one that we need to have I think another conversation about. I'm actually going to obviously I would love people to reach out to you and find out how to get in contact with you, even though your details are there. I, unfortunately, because I think the Wi-Fi is a bit funny, I think we might have to reschedule, because I'm finding it a little bit hard to, does that make sense? You keep cutting in and out a little bit. Okay. So would you be okay if we rebook this? Because even though it is live and someone is watching it, someone's going, hi, everybody. we might need to rebook it because I want everyone to hear your incredible insights and what you're saying, but you're cutting out in and out a little bit, Rebecca. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on. I've checked my end. Yeah, that's okay. Let's
Wi-Fi bars, and
that's okay. I just don't want everybody not to miss out on your amazing insights. So what we might do, Rebecca's details are definitely in the notes, but if anyone wants to reach out to you, Rebecca, what's the best way to reach out to you?
So I would just hopping onto my website and seeing some of the things that you can how we can partner together, and then obviously they'll have my email address on there. So I would go to www.rebeccataylor.com.au and then reach out to me that way. And then definitely open to collaboration. Great.
Yeah, so it's www.rebeccataylor.com.au. So definitely check her out. She's the most incredible person, human, photographer, everything brand, everything leadership. And we're going to reschedule another chat with Rebecca, because I know she's got a lot more to share. and we're going to do another test, and that's okay because we still had the most incredible conversation. But yeah, let's jump on again and figure out how we can get some more kind of insights from Rebecca for our next live. So thanks so much for being on today, Rebecca. And I will see you in a week or two. All right. Take care.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Sonia.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Bye. Bye.